Right. So picture this. You're, just scrolling through crypto Twitter, feeling pretty good about your portfolio. And then bam, headlines about that $30 million meme coin hack on DEXX. I don't know about you, but suddenly burying my savings in the backyard doesn't sound so crazy.
It definitely shakes things up a bit. And you see this DEXX situation, it's not just another headline.
Mhm.
It really exposes some of the vulnerabilities of DeFi in a way that's hard to ignore, even if you know meme coins aren't your thing.
Exactly. And that's why we're doing a deep dive today, going way beyond the surface. We'll talk about what happened, the nitty gritty, the security gaps that made it possible. And this is crucial how you can learn from this to navigate the crypto world more safely.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into the technical side of things for a moment. The Slomis report, which is an incredible deep dive in itself, it reveals that the hackers exploited a vulnerability in how DEDX handled approvals for certain smart contracts. So essentially, they tricked the system into granting them access to funds they shouldn't have had.
Okay, so this wasn't just about someone cracking a password or stealing a private key or something like that. This was a flaw in the platform's code itself.
Precisely. And what's even more interesting is that this particular vulnerability has been exploited before on other platforms, which highlights a recurring issue in DeFi development, the need for more rigorous security audits and just a better understanding of potential attack vectors.
So it's like building a house with a faulty foundation. You can put up all the fancy security cameras and alarms you want, but,
Yeah.
if the foundation is weak, the whole structure is vulnerable.
That's a great analogy, and that's why it's so important to understand the technical underpinnings of these platforms. It's not enough to just trust the hype or the flashy user interface.
And speaking of hype, that's where meme coins come into play, right? They're often seen as a gamble, a bit of fun. But this hack shows that the stakes can get very real.
Absolutely. And the Slomis report really sheds light on just how real those stakes were for DX users. They analyzed the victims and found a really wide range, from one unfortunate individual who lost over $500,000 to hundreds who lost smaller amounts, likely drawn in by the meme coin frenzy.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement, especially when you see people on social media boasting about their gains. But this hack serves as a stark reminder that, those gains can disappear just as quickly.
For sure. And it brings up the human cost of these incidents.
Yeah.
Beyond the dollar figures, there are real people whose lives are disrupted, who may have lost their savings and, who are now grappling with a sense of vulnerability and distrust.
It's heartbreaking to see those stories on social media, people expressing their anger and despair, just their
Yeah.
sense of helplessness.
Yeah, it really is. And it really underscores, why security in DeFi is so critical. It's a rapidly evolving space. And while hacks are statistically down this year,
Yeah.
the impact on individual victims is undeniable.
So where do we go from here? How do we protect ourselves in this exciting but sometimes treacherous landscape?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. And, there's no one-size-fits-all answer, but let's try to break it down a little. Starting with the platforms themselves. So we've got centralized exchanges, CEXs for short. These are your more traditional, on-ramps to the crypto world. They're kind of like the big banks, offering a more familiar experience, a wide range of coins, generally good liquidity.
Okay, so for someone just starting out, a CEX might be a good place to, dip their toes in.
It can be, yes. But it's important to remember that even with CEXs, security varies quite a bit. For example, Binance, the global behemoth, right? It's known for its robust security measures, things like two-factor authentication and an insurance fund. Coinbase, on the other hand, focuses heavily on regulatory compliance, particularly in the US and Europe, which provides a different kind of reassurance.
So it's about understanding your priorities
Mhm.
and choosing a platform that aligns with
Yeah.
your risk tolerance and security needs.
Exactly. And then we have decentralized exchanges, DEXXs, like the aforementioned DXX. They offer a different set of advantages, more privacy, potentially lower fees, and access to a wider array of tokens, especially those newer, more experimental ones.
But as we've seen, that increased control and flexibility can also come with increased risk.
Absolutely. And that's where the due diligence comes in. Before you jump into a DEX, especially one you're not familiar with, do your research, look for platforms that have undergone third-party security audits, check their track record, see what the community is saying about their experience.
So it's like checking the reviews before you book a hotel. You want to see what other travelers have experienced, get a sense of the security, the cleanliness, the overall vibe.
Precisely. And just like you wouldn't leave your valuables unattended in a hotel room, you shouldn't leave your crypto exposed on a platform you haven't thoroughly vetted.
Okay, so we've got our platforms, our CEXs and DEXs, but let's talk about where we actually store our crypto.
Hmm.
This is where hot wallets and cold storage come in, right?
Right. Think of it this way. Your hot wallet is like your everyday wallet, the one you carry around with you for quick transactions. It's connected to the internet, so it's convenient, but also more vulnerable to attacks. MetaMask and Trust Wallet are some popular examples.
And cold storage is more like you're safe at home.
Exactly. Cold storage means keeping your private keys offline, completely isolated from the internet. This is where hardware wallets like Ledger and Trezor shine. They offer the highest level of security for your crypto.
But if it's offline, how do you actually access your crypto when you need it?
Well, hardware wallets connect to your computer via USB or Bluetooth. When you need to make a transaction, the crucial part is that your private keys never leave the device, making it incredibly difficult for hackers to steal them.
So it's like having a physical key to a vault. You need that key to access your assets, and it's much more secure than keeping a digital copy on your computer.
That's a great way to put it. And just like you wouldn't carry your entire life savings around in your everyday wallet, it's smart to use cold storage for the majority of your crypto holdings, especially if you're in it for the long haul.
So hot wallets for spending money, cold storage for the big stash. But no matter where you store your crypto, good security practices are paramount, right?
Absolutely. This is where it comes down to personal responsibility. You can have the most secure platform and the most sophisticated wallet, but if you're not practicing good security hygiene, you're still at risk.
All right, let's talk specifics. What are the absolute must-dos to stay safe in the crypto world?
Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, is non-negotiable. Enable it on every account, every platform, every wallet. It's like adding an extra lock on your door, making it that much harder for unwanted guests to get in. And speaking of lock strong, unique passwords are crucial.
No more password 123.
Definitely not. Use a combination of upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols. Consider using a password manager to generate and store them securely.
Makes sense. What else?
Be incredibly wary of phishing scams. Double, triple check those URLs before you click on anything. Hover over the link to see where it's actually leading you. If something feels off even slightly, don't click it. It's better to be safe than sorry.
So trust your gut.
Absolutely. And always verify information from multiple sources. Don't rely on a single tweet or Telegram message to make investment decisions. Do your own research. Check reputable news outlets, and consult with experienced community members.
It's about being an informed and discerning participant in this space, not just blindly following the hype.
Exactly. And when it comes to exploring newer platforms or DeFi protocols, tread cautiously. Look for evidence of security audits. Read the documentation, understand the risks involved.
So it's like venturing into uncharted territory. You wouldn't just blindly walk into a jungle without a map, a compass, and some basic survival skills.
Right. And remember, the crypto landscape is constantly evolving. New threats emerge, new security solutions are developed. Staying informed is an ongoing process.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Platforms, wallets, security tips. It can feel overwhelming. But what's the key takeaway for our listeners? What do we really want them to walk away with? Well, I think the biggest takeaway here is that knowledge is power. The more you understand about how crypto works, the better equipped you are to, navigate the risks and make informed decisions.
I completely agree. The crypto world can seem intimidating at first, but it doesn't have to be, really. Just take the time to educate yourself. Start small, gradually build your knowledge and confidence.
And remember, there are resources available to help you along the way. We've mentioned Mistrack, which is doing incredible work in tracking stolen funds and assisting victims of hacks.
Yeah, and there are also some fantastic educational platforms out there, like CoinDesk Learn and Binance Academy. They offer courses and resources for all levels of crypto enthusiasts.
Yeah, we also encourage you to, engage with the crypto community, join forums, follow thought leaders on social media, and don't be afraid to ask questions. There's a wealth of knowledge and experience out there.
And as you learn and grow, you'll discover that. The crypto world is much more than just meme coins and volatile markets. There's a whole ecosystem of innovative projects, groundbreaking technologies, and passionate individuals working to build a more decentralized and equitable future.
That's what makes this space so exciting. Yes, there are risks, but there's also immense potential for positive change. It's about finding that balance,
Yeah.
understanding the risks and taking proactive steps to protect yourself.
Absolutely. And this DXX hack is a reminder that DeFi, while incredibly promising, it's still in its early stages. Security is an ongoing challenge, and we all have a role to play in demanding better safeguards and fostering a culture of responsible innovation.
So as you explore the crypto world, stay curious, stay informed, and stay vigilant. And remember, with knowledge and a bit of caution, you can navigate this exciting landscape with confidence and excitement. Until next time, happy diving.